This episode is sponsored by DBDC, Boston 13th through the 16th of September 2018. Welcome to Comp Crawl with DanceBeat. Today is a little bit of a departure because normally I get to sit down here with very, very attractive women and ask them what they think about dance competitions, and for some strange reason today I get to sit down with Frank. And the reason I'm sitting down with Frank is because over the past 20 years or so, a lot of the comps I go to, I see this I would say slightly more mature gentleman turning up and dancing with all of these gorgeous younger women. And I want to ask him today, Frank, what the hell is your secret? So ladies and gentlemen, let's find out what Frank Yen is all about. How are you, Frank?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Well, I would like to thank you for taking the time to come over to LAX, which is obviously the airport in Los Angeles, to talk to us today. So, a couple of questions to start off with. Where are you actually from?
I'm actually from China. I think I'm from China, but there are some people think that I was actually born in Leningrad, USSR.
Is that fake news?
No idea. 84 years ago. There's some rumor about that.
Some rumor. So you may be Chinese Russian, which I suppose is no.
No. I'm Chinese, but my father was working there one time. A very secret mission, high level.
Got you.
And I was born and just stayed in Kiev for 2 weeks, and my father was fired actually, and so I went home with him.
I see. So when did you actually make your way to the States?
1956, December 30th. That's 60 years ago.
Wow. And what was the reason for you coming over here, Frank?
I came here to go to school because my father never came to the United States, and my mother says he's useless because in China, if you have not been to the United States, you cannot be the minister, secretary of any department head. And my father is a very high-level official in the government. And my father is a very brilliant scholar, very well-respected. But the only problem he has, never been to the United States.
Okay, so you came to the United States. Which college did you come to?
I came to a very little college called Seattle Pacific. That's in Seattle, Washington. At the time, there's only 600 students.
Oh. And what was your, what did you study there?
My major is chemistry. Okay. Because I was very good in school, in high school. But somehow, a very strange situation, I graduated with a math degree.
Mathematics?
Yes. But my mathematics is not that good.
So how did you put your mathematics degree to any use, or did you just say, I'm going to dance for the rest of my life?
Those days I don't know how to dance. Well, I thought I was a good dancer. I was king of cha-cha-cha in Hong Kong.
Oh, I heard that Bruce Lee was actually king of cha-cha-cha in Hong Kong, but it was actually you, yeah?
Well, I gave myself the title. Nothing to do with Bruce Lee. I'm a very aggressive, outspoken person. And I spoke English when I was 11. And the first quarter in the United States, some people said, Frank, you don't sound Chinese. Are you sure you didn't come from the United States? You're so aggressive.
So, hey Frank, so how did you actually learn English in those days?
I learned English when I was 5 years old. I was taught by the president of Tsinghua University, and that university in China is comparable to MIT in scholarship. And the president of that university during the Second World War was my father's immediate boss. Anyway, that's how. So every Sunday, he has to go somewhere to give a speech, and I sit in the car, and he taught me English on the way, and on the way home, he tested me. He'd give me an exam. It's a miserable trip every Sunday. But I spoke English very young, and therefore, when I came to the United States, I have nothing to fear for because everything is so normal.
Wow, that's very interesting. So now, so you find yourself in Seattle. You speak perfect English. What do you do with yourself?
Well, perfect is not correct. I speak English, people understand. I was in school, and because I have no money, I have to pay tuition. So I work 1 job, 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. And I was very lucky because that time everybody makes 50 cents an hour. And I got a job making $2 to $3 because they need the people with some mathematics skills, and they have a job opening. It's been there for 6 months, nobody applied. So I got that job.
I thought maybe you were an exotic dancer in a club or something. No?
I wish. And all my life, I think I'm ugly, so I don't have too many girlfriends. I'm just very alone. I'm a loner. But my parents taught me how to speak, so I make speeches all the time in Chinese and in English. And during my work in later years, I was used to give speeches to business people. I can go 500 to 1,000 people 3-4 times a year.
Wow. Okay. So now we're in Seattle. We're earning $3 an hour, which is 6 times the average. Where do you go from here?
From Seattle, I graduated. Actually, I don't know how I graduated. I didn't study. And I actually got my degree in 2.5 years, the college degrees. And I think I learned nothing. Then I went to graduate school, University of Washington, in the Department of Mathematics. And I was miserable. I got a B plus average, that's it. But I have one class, I got A plus in Russian studies. For 3 months, I studied Russian, and I can read all the books. So I might say I have a language talent.
You definitely do. Okay, so now you've got this language talent. You've stopped earning $3 an hour. What happens next?
I got a job. After I got $3, I started doing all kinds of work. For example, selling Christmas tree during the Christmas time, driving a 9-month pregnant woman 200 miles to get more trees. And I drove a truck which I never drove. Scary thing. And did all kinds of things. Then in 1958, after I graduated, I have no business, can't find a job. Then I deliver newspapers, and I tell you, nobody would believe me. I make $600 a month cash delivering newspapers in 1958.
That was a lot of dosh.
Yes, and also there's another guy who works with me. He delivers 1,000 papers a day, and he has 4 kids ranging 18 to 12, and he will deliver 1 kid for 1 block. Then he drives to the second block, drop the second kid. Then the third block, he dropped 2 kids to carry the newspaper. In the Sunday, the newspapers are very heavy, and you have to walk up all the stairs. And Seattle, the weather is not so good, so it's kind of a very tough job. Then he makes $2,000 a month.
So child labor works.
Yes, it definitely does. And he drives a brand new Chevrolet every year. So that's why I know the United States, anything works. You want to put yourself to work, you're going to succeed.
Wow. Okay. So now, all right. So you've delivered your newspapers. You got your Christmas trees. Where to next? Because I hear you became an actuary or something at one stage.
Yes, I kind of become an actuary, but I didn't finish all the exams because I was so lazy. I don't want to study. So I'm half-ass actuary. But I didn't really make my money being an actuary. I make my money doing other things nothing to do with actuary. But I got in the door these major corporations, and I developed a sense to do other stuff. So I become the best management consultant in the United States.
So you consider yourself an entrepreneur then?
No, entrepreneur, you start your own business. I was working for somebody, and the company I worked for a while was the largest company of its kind in the world. And I was their #1 guy. And I have Fortune 100 companies.
Wow. So now what were you doing for this particular company?
I was being an actuary, but I actually do all kinds of things, like I negotiate with unions, and when the company management needs something, I know how to do almost anything to please the company. So I become very famous for my other stuff, nothing to do with actuarial science.
So,
but as being an actuary got me in the door.
Got you. So you became a fixer?
Pretty much, because I know how to deal with the union people. And because I'm not afraid of them, I know how to deal with low-level people. I make friends with any kind of people. That's my specialty.
Okay, well, you're doing a good job with me, so I suppose you can still do it. All right. Okay. So now you're flying high. Tell me about the dancing. How did that all start?
All right. I've been dancing with my wife. We were together 60-some years from Hong Kong. I met her, she was only 13. And, well, she'll never admit it, but she was in love with me right away. And her mother, by the way, likes me very much. Her mother actually thinks I'm wealthy, but I'm not. My parents are not wealthy. My father was too nice, too honest. So we don't have much money. So I got a scholarship to finish high school. And because of the war, I was running around, so I didn't graduate from high school until I was age 20. And I somehow managed to be #1 in the class. And in fact, I was #1 in my class in mathematics and in chemistry. I'm actually much better in chemistry, but I somehow couldn't graduate with it, so I can get out of the school in 2.5 years as a math. I just want to go out to get a job.
Okay. So you've got a wife. You've started dancing. Where does it go from there?
Well, I started dancing 26 years ago, and my wife actually competed first. My wife is a much better dancer. She's tall, skinny, and she still looks very beautiful. And she danced with Chris Morris, who unfortunately passed away. And she danced with Victor Verese for a long, long time. They're still dancing together. And she was senior 2 champion for 3 years with Victor at the national level.
That's cool.
In my dancing, I just dead last all the time, but I enjoyed my dancing. And now I think I'm getting a little better for some reason I don't even understand. But somehow the audience likes me a lot. And I think that's very useful.
Yes, your charisma does shine through, as do your very flamboyant outfits. You better tell me something about those.
I don't know. I'm always very well dressed up. When I was 15 years old, I was always wearing a tie. And in high school, I was the chief prefect. Prefect is like a student body president. In the United States, you elect, but in the British system, my high school is a British system comparable to Eton in London. I guess you know that. And our school is a church-sponsored school by the Episcopal Church, the Church of England, actually. And our chairman of the board is he is a minister in the Episcopal Church, and the bishop is the chairman. And the principal is also a priest. So I was very good. My best subject in high school is scripture. So I know the Bible very, very well. And in fact, one time I was thinking to become a minister after I was so impressed with Billy Graham.
So was Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, she was inaugurated when I was in Hong Kong. Yeah, but I didn't have much feelings with her one way or the other.
So, once again, let's get on to how many tuxedos do you actually have, Frank? Because, you know, everywhere you go, you seem to have a different one.
I lost count. I had five of those tails, which people don't use anymore, except for standard. And I do American style. So I think I have a tuxedo in every color possible.
God. I'm actually going to try and outdo you, Frank, you know, because the first time I saw you, I was like, I want to be you when I grow up. So I have to get... So at the moment, I think I've got about 9 different coloured tuxedos, but that pales into insignificance with what you have.
No, I don't have that many. But but you don't see me every other day. Now, my color is not just color. I have the very, very sharp color. You know, very low color, like green. I want to be very, very green, like the Irish.
Yes, and yes, I did see that in Boston earlier this year. That was very, very Irish until you saw your face.
So in September, I will go to Boston to dance at the DBDC if I can find a partner. But I have special ties that's shamrock. I have shamrock cufflinks. And I have shamrock earrings to match my cufflinks.
Now,
all green.
All green. But I have to also tell you that the majority owners at DBDC are British. So I hope you have a shamrock and a Union Jack somewhere. Maybe your underpants. How about that?
Yeah, I probably have some. And because of my 4 years in the British high school, I have lots of British habits, I think. I think, yeah, but I don't know how much. I used to have a little bit of British accent. I lost that finally. Yeah. Anyway, so that's where I am.
That is where you are. Well, Mr. Yan, it has been an education and an absolute pleasure talking to you here. And I hope that our viewers, when they the next time they see you out there performing, they'll go, "Oh yeah, I know all about Frank." So, Mr. Yan, where's your drink? Oh, where's your water? Here we go. So cheers. It's great for you to spend an afternoon with me. Have a good one.